For decades, the digital world operated on a single, intoxicating promise: the global village. We believed that data, code, and innovation had no borders. But by 2026, that illusion has shattered. Today, we live in the era of tech sovereignty. It's the drive for nations to own their own clouds, secure their own chips, and govern their own AI. From the EU's Digital Declaration of Independence to India's sovereign AI stacks, the world is building walls. But there's a catch. You can't build a wall around a cloud without losing the silver lining of global progress. Why the sudden rush for control? Because in 2026, tech is no longer just business. It's the base layer of national survival. First, the power of the stack. If your government's data sits on a foreign cloud, do you really own your laws? Second, the chip chokehold. When 90% of advanced semiconductors pass through a single strait, independence is just a buzzword. Third, the AI identity. Nations are realizing that an AI trained in Silicon Valley or Beijing doesn't speak their language, literally or culturally. Narrator. We see three distinct models emerging. 1. The Fortress China. Total state control via the Great Firewall and domestic hardware. 2. The Regulator EU. Sovereignty through law, GDPR, the AI Act, and sovereign clouds. 3. The Hyperscaler USA. Sovereignty through market dominance and disruptive capitalization. Here is the paradox. True sovereignty is impossible. No nation on Earth is 100% tech independent. You can build the AI model, but do you have the minerals for the chips? You have the chips, but do you have the energy to run the data centers? You have the energy, but do you have the talent? This is managed interdependence. It's the realization that while we want to lead, we must lean on each other. By 2026, the goal has shifted from doing it all alone to diversifying our dependencies. We aren't looking for self-sufficiency, we're looking for resilience. What happens if we push sovereignty too far? First, fragmentation. Imagine an internet where your apps stop working the moment you cross a border. Second, innovation stagnation. When we stop sharing code, we start reinventing the wheel at 10 times the cost. Third, the Leviathan problem. As states fight for control, big tech firms have become data sovereigns themselves, often more powerful than the countries trying to regulate them. As nations scramble to claim sovereignty, a new player has already planted its flag. In 2026, the world's largest tech companies aren't just businesses, they are network states. When a single company controls the operating system of a nation's healthcare, the encryption of its military communications, and the social fabric of its citizens, who is actually in charge? We've entered the age of the digital levying. Just as medieval kings relied on lords for knights, modern presidents rely on CEOs for cybersecurity. Sovereignty is being negotiated in boardrooms, not just voting booths. While the Titan bloc US and China fights for dominance, a third movement is rising: digital non-alignment. Nations like Brazil, Kenya, and Indonesia are refusing to pick a side. They are building open-source sovereignty. By using open-source AI models and decentralized protocols, they are bypassing the digital colonialism of the past decade. Sovereignty for us isn't about closing our borders. It's about optionality. We want the ability to switch providers without our entire economy crashing. We want the code to be public, so the future remains ours. But let's be honest, the quest for total sovereignty has a price tag, and the citizen pays it. The innovation tax. When a country forces data localization, startups can't afford the local servers. Innovation moves elsewhere. The security paradox. By trying to build national encryption, governments often create backdoors that make them less secure against hackers. The talent drain. In 2026, the best engineers don't follow borders, they follow the most open stacks. A closed nation is a stagnant nation. So how do we fix a fractured world? We look to modular diplomacy. Instead of one-size-fits-all global treaties, we are seeing tech clubs. Small groups of nations agreeing on specific standards. The lithium circle, securing the physical battery path. The GPU accord, sharing compute power during crises. The Truth Protocol, jointly fighting AI-generated disinformation. This is the new interdependence. It's not a global hug, it's a series of strategic handshakes. The talent drain in 2026, the best engineers don't follow borders, they follow the most open stacks. A closed nation is a stagnant nation. The battle for sovereignty has left the land. It's now 20,000 leagues under the sea and 300 miles above our heads. 99% of international data travels through undersea cables. Whoever controls the repair ships controls the information. Meanwhile, Starlink and its competitors have turned low Earth orbit into a sovereign battleground. In 2026, if you don't control your connection to the stars, you don't control your soil. Ultimately, tech sovereignty isn't about flags or chips. It's about agency. It's the right of a person to know where their data lives, who trains the AI that judges them, and whether their digital life can be switched off by a foreign power or their own. The challenge of our time is to remain connected enough to prosper, but independent enough to be free. The wires are crossed. The walls are up. The future is still being coded. The challenge of 2026 isn't choosing between being a hermit or a hostage. It's about strategic autonomy. It means having the kill switch if you need it, buy the bridge because you want it. In a world of rising walls, the most powerful nations won't be the ones that isolate the best, they will be the ones that collaborate the smartest. Sovereignty gives us the power to say no. Interdependence gives us the power to say more. Balancing the two is the defining task of our century. Subscribe to Tech and AI Future and see you in next one.